you be interested in continuing these talks with us?
You mean on the Chrysostom?
Yeah, on anything.
Oh, on anything.
John Chrysostom fine too, but, you know, these are interesting. And
Well, thank you. Yeah, I always enjoy teaching, but depends on the subject matter, because if I don't feel qualified, I'll let whoever asks me, I say, well, I don't feel qualified. Yes?
You want to give a talk on Photius when he's communicating.
Oh, well, I did a 6-week class on Photius and all the things that led up to that great schism in 1054. And even for our own identity as Byzantine Catholics, you have to understand, in 1054, you know, East and West went, okay? And again, it depends the bias of the author that, okay, you read an Orthodox catechism, the Catholic Church book. You read a Catholic catechism, the Orthodox book. Well, scholars finally got down and say, hey, we're out of union with each other. It's like breaking an egg and saying this half is broken, but this half isn't. You know, we have to be honest, intellectually honest, and say, in 1054, this terrible rift happened. And then, some centuries later, trying to heal this rift, for example, in 1595, the Galician church, now the Ukrainians, re-entered union with Rome. And in 1646, the Carpathorusins entered in union with Rome, trying to heal that break of 1054, and that's us. Okay.
Theodosius the First.
Oh, Theodosius the First was the emperor. Okay, what else? Okay. So, like I said, we're trying to heal that break little by little, and hopefully that would come. So that's why, number one, it's important for us as Byzantine Catholics to be true to who we are and to be a witness that this is possible, because if we're not true to ourselves, our Orthodox brethren are watching. Believe me. So, and I mean this from the highest levels down. I mean, from Rome right down to the custodians of our parishes. I mean, you have to watch how we are living and what we are projecting. Because I'm always amazed when I hear people tell outsiders to define who we are. You know, if your next door neighbor, what's a Byzantine Catholic? What would you tell them? Oh, we're really Roman Catholics with a different mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did the word uniats come from?
Uniate was a term used by the Orthodox for us as a term of derision for reuniting with Rome. Okay. And you have to watch, again, it's language. But as you say, you know, what's politically correct and all that. I think when modern writers are using the word uniate or uniat, they don't mean it offensively. But in Rusin, it's a real, you know, uniat. And of course, we have equally offensive words for the Orthodox, which I won't say on top.
Say it, please.
So, but that's why I said we have to be sensitive to how we witness our lives. Okay. Any other?
Do you have any advice? I've got a lot of friends who, there's a St. Peter and Paul's Orthodox over Clark Mill Road. I've got a lot of friends from not Byzantine Catholic who are Orthodox Catholic. Yeah, can you offer any advice how to communicate and how to reconcile when challenged by someone from Orthodox who is Eastern Orthodox but not Eastern Catholic?
Your question was, how do you talk in terms of our Orthodox brethren kind of reconciling who we are in relationship to them?
Yes.
Is that what it amounts to? Once again, Jesus said in the Gospel that all may be one. In fact, the late Pope John Paul II wrote that wonderful encyclical Ut Unum Sint, that all may be one. And that unity in the gospel is what Jesus wants. Jesus doesn't want all these divisions.
Now, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have friends who are Southern Baptist or Protestant. Is this applicable in the same way? How can one reconcile or encompass or group hug other Christians
Well, I think
and
that's
still maintain our identity?
his question was about working with others of even other traditions, such as Southern Baptist and all that. Once again, of course, we have to reflect gospel values, but I think that's one of the wonderful opening doors of Vatican II, this whole field of ecumenism. Getting to know each other, dialogue with each other, for heaven's sake. You'll find out we have more in common than what separates.
Well, just like one of the epistles says, you just keep your focus on Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're talking to Orthodox Baptists, you can't go wrong if you focus on Jesus.
Right.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah, what he said was, as the Bible says, focus on Jesus, who is the perfecter of our faith, and that's true. Yes?
I heard similar to when we talked to Protestants or people from other faiths to concentrate on the things that are the same. Find that there's a lot of things that are the same rather than different.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's right. I like that idea of what they call the dialogue of love that was started in Jerusalem when Pope Paul VI met Patriarch Athenagoras. I said, that dialogue is going on still. And a lot has been accomplished.
Question.
Gene.
Oh. This is a little different. The word politician was mentioned earlier. And some of our modern politicians today, now they talk about the separation of church and state. What's your opinion about that, or your thoughts on that?
Well, in America, there is separation of church and state. Like I said, when you read things like this, you can see why it is good to have a separation of church and state. The one thing, though, that we learned from this time period was that the church was very, very involved. Hospitals, orphanages, food centers, and all that. In fact, I think it was Basil the Great said, no diocese should be established until the food hunger center is established first. I mean, they saw it as that important. So I think maybe now that we have the government doing all these social things, we as Christians, whether it's us or other Christians, we kind of sit back on our laurels and say, well, we don't have to do that anymore. That's still part of the gospel.
At the same time, we've been pushed out of doing a lot of our activities.
And that's the other side of the coin. We've been pushed out of some of these activities too. That's true. Very true.
The orphanages, there's a number of these activities that we were simply told, you are no longer going to be doing them, we're shutting you down.
Yeah, orphanages,
Yes.
sometimes hospitals, either political or economic pressure, sometimes Catholic hospitals can't keep afloat. So, okay. Well, I thank you.